Working out Endless Space 2 is just simple maths. It's the infinite void, plus the limitless possibilities of grand strategy, and it's a 4x game, which means you multiply everything by 4, remember to carry the 2 in the title, and you get... Alright, turns out endlessness is quite hard to quantify. How about we get into the specifics of Endless Space 2 instead? Would that be alright? Don't forget to hit that bell to subscribe, though in space, of course, nobody will hear it. We've met some of the races of Endless Space 2 before, in a previous video. Give that a watch if you want to get to know the Cravers, Vidiani, Sophons, or Lumeris. But as Hubble's law states, an early access universe is always expanding, which means we've got a few more names to mention now the game's ready for launch. First off, there's the United Empire, who are a Soviet-style race of propagandists and warmongers. Honestly, their triumphal graphic design is second to none, but there's just the slightest sense that their united front doesn't quite reflect the reality. It's the same with Manchester United, really. Next are the Riftborn, who come from a perfect, pristine universe. Of course, it couldn't be allowed to remain that way for long, so we ruined it by osmosis when a portal opened into our own galaxy. They're not chuffed, let's put it that way. You know how some leaders want to rebuild the world in their own image? That's literally true for Endless Space 2's clone faction. It just so happens that the original copy was called Horatio, so collectively they're known as the Horatio. Finally, we've got the Unfallen. With a name like that, they're a seriously tempting target for conquerors like the Cravers. These talking trees with a taste for pacifism do look like a bit of a pushover, but they've got strong roots. You know, like trees. I'm sorry, I'll get my coat and leaf. That's the Who of Endless Space 2, the Endless Space Who, if you will. You'll meet them all in the course of exploring new star systems and claiming their planets, since ultimately this is a game about colonization. In a campaign, you'll expand your empire's population, assimilating and uniting newcomers. And as that population grows, it'll become both the source of your strength and the pokiest thorn in your side. That means, although you can fiddle with the politics of your people, you can't always tell them what to think. They'll analyse and criticise your actions, and if they start to fear your new neighbours, you might find yourself declaring war for them. Battles in Endless Space 2 are beautiful real-time cinematic sequences, a bit like Football Manager's match engine in space. That seems fitting, actually, since developers Amplitude have recently joined FM publishers Sega. That doesn't mean you're handing over control, though. You're still designing ships, upgrading them with research technology, composing a fleet, and picking a play for the course of the fight. Then crossing every available finger. Some races have more than others, a natural advantage. So what kind of future does Endless Space 2 present us with? I imagine life was alright if you were one of the Endless themselves, the race who once mastered the galaxies and uploaded their minds into computers, becoming virtually immortal like my mate Tom from MySpace. Unfortunately, the Endless left behind dust. Enough nanomachinery to repair organs, clone Horatios, and basically make anyone who followed powerful enough to conquer half the universe. Ultimately, space will belong to the civilization that controls the most dust, and that makes this universe a terribly unstable place to live. Still, there's always a chance of a diplomatic victory, become mates with the sentient trees, and there's less chance of the grasshopper mafia stealing your lunch money. Ancient orders of metal assassins, living crystals, tiny dragons, and recycled war machines await on the planets you're planning to visit. It's not a universe where every faction can hope to understand each other, but perhaps it's one where everyone can get along. Or at least, join each other in giving someone else a good old-fashioned conquering. After all, 4x is the same in every language in the Endless Space 2 universe. Well, would you look at that? We've come to the end of the infinite. We hope you've enjoyed getting to know the strange worlds of Endless Space 2. For more from the final frontier of PC games, remember to like and subscribe to PCGamesN.